I still remember the night everything shifted for my mate Liam. He wasn't some evil landlord or dodgy operator. He was just another Aussie getting squeezed by rent. His two-bedroom apartment in the CBD was beautiful and brutal. Rent hit his account like a truck every single week. So when he saw a short stay course promising 3 times the rent with Airbnb, it felt like an escape hatch. He bought it. They told him the usual story. You don't need to own property, you can rent it, then relist it. Just be discreet. Most buildings don't really enforce the rules. The course barely mentioned building bylaws, council restrictions, or owners' corporations. When it did, it treated them like obstacles, not actual legal limits. Liam figured, everyone's doing it, I'll be fine. So he did it. He moved into the smaller bedroom and turned the master into a premium CBD escape. Professional photos, crisp white sheets, candle he never lit but always left in the photos to make it feel luxury. At first, it was magic. Booking notifications, nice couples from interstate, a corporate traveler, weekend stays that paid more than his share of rent. He'd send me screenshots and say, "Bro, I'm literally sleeping in my own side business." But here's the thing about short stay. It only takes one guest to unravel the whole illusion. That guest arrived on a Saturday. On paper, they were a couple in town for a quiet weekend and show. In reality, they were 2 friends plus 10 more they hadn't mentioned, with 3 bags of alcohol and a Spotify playlist that sounded like a nightclub. The noise started around 9 p.m. Bass traveling through the floors, laughter echoing into the hallway. People coming and going so often the lift barely got a break. The neighbor across the hall was a nurse on night shifts. She'd already put up with luggage noise and door slams for weeks. This was the final straw. She knocked. No one listened. She called reception. They called security.
Security showed up, tried to shut it down. Things got heated. One of the guests mouthed off. Security threatened to call the police. Now the building manager's involved. He's seen this before. He asks a simple question. Is your apartment being used for short stay letting? The guests, half drunk, say, yeah, it's an Airbnb. That was it. The word he'd been hoping would not be said out loud. By Monday, Liam had an email from the building manager quoting the bylaws, a formal breach notice from the owners' corporation, a not-so-friendly call from his landlord, who had just found out his long-term tenant was secretly running a mini hotel. The course hadn't prepared him for this part, the part where people who actually own and manage the building get a say. He went back to the course community, panicking. They told him, this is normal pushback. Ignore it. They usually back down. Don't admit anything in writing. But every time he walked through the lobby, he felt the stares. He knew that nurse across the hall hated him. He knew one more incident could mean termination of his lease, or worse. His cash flow machine had turned into a legal and emotional migraine. Meanwhile, I was in a similar situation. High rent, not much breathing room. I wanted the same outcome, not getting suffocated by rent. But I didn't want to fight my building, my neighbors, my landlord, and possibly the council. So I went a different way. I downloaded an app called HomeTrade. Season 1 was free, so even if it was rubbish, I wasn't losing anything. Instead of hyping Airbnb empires or stealth rentals, it did something weird. It treated my apartment like what it actually was, a home. Not a hotel, not a secret commercial venture. A home with extra space and a rent bill that needed help. It walked me through how to choose the right property layout for flat sharing, how to structure long-term legal flat shares that fit within normal expectations, how to price rooms so the rent is mostly or completely covered, how to find and screen housemates, not random weekend tourists.
No hiding, no pretending, no telling guests to just say you're visiting a friend if anyone asks. Where Liam's guests made the building feel like a revolving door, my flat looked exactly like what it was, a share house. People stayed for months, not nights. They unpacked, they respected the space, neighbors learned their names, not just their suitcase styles. And the money? It added up. Month after month, my rent stopped being this terrifying monster. It became a manageable share of utilities and my bit of the total cost. No letters from Strata, no awkward calls from the landlord, no late-night security visits. Liam ended up shutting down his listing. He didn't get evicted, but he came very close.
It cost him stress, goodwill with his neighbors, and a pretty tense relationship with his landlord. And when short stay rules started tightening even more, he realized how fragile that whole model was. I'm not saying Airbnb is evil. I'm saying it comes with real serious constraints. Bylaws, council rules, insurance, safety, stuff the hype videos barely talk about. HomeTrade, on the other hand, is kind of boring, and that's exactly why I trust it. It's flat sharing done properly, with systems and strategy, in a way that buildings, neighbors, and landlords don't immediately hate. So when people ask me now, how did you get your rent so low? I don't say, oh, I have this stealth listing. I say, I turned my spare room into a flat share business the right way. I learned it from an app called HomeTrade. Season 1 is free. Go watch it before you try to run a hotel in a building that never agreed to be one.